before we start, let me go grab my coffee. Assistant, can you bring me some coffee, please? So comforting to my soul. What is up? This is Oksana with craftamoredesign, where we discuss all things sublimation, laser machine, DIY, home decor, and the home. And today we are going to go ahead and start with the bad news first, because that is what I think we all should do at all times. I'm going to discuss the cons of sublimation. Con number one, it is very expensive initially. You have to consider the cost of your equipment, your specialty printers, your specialty papers, inks, substrates, all of that. Probably $1,000 minimum. That is definitely a huge disadvantage when you're wanting just to kind of tamper into a new craft. Con number two, you are limited to only working with white or light colored fabrics. I love my dark charcoal colors, my blacks, my bold colors. That is definitely a huge disadvantage for me personally, that I can't customize more options for myself. And it's another big disadvantage if you are a small business looking to make a profit. You are limited because many people will always ask for that black t-shirt or some dark colored material. Just trying to focus. Con number three, this is another huge bummer, is that you are limited to only working with polyester materials or some sort of poly coating substrate. Now, the bummer with that is a lot of the materials that you may wear, if you go through your tags right now, is probably cotton because it's soft and it's a lot more comfortable to wear, but you cannot sublimate on that. Otherwise, it will come off basically in your first or second wash. If you are wanting to tamper into the world of non-polyester materials, you do have to buy a sublimation coating spray. And again, it's just more things that you have to pay, which can be even more expensive. So that's another big disadvantage, and I'll post this in my link below. Another video, another time. Con number four, this is definitely not something that you can do for like a rapid order with large amounts. It's not exactly the quickest turnaround for large or bulk orders. So sometimes companies may reach out to you and ask if you're willing to partner with them, but you do have to press each item individually, and that can definitely slow down your process. So that's a huge disadvantage. I mean, we will talk about the advantages of having a quick press that you can just make basically on the spot. But if you're looking for bulk orders or large amounts of orders, especially if you are a small business owner who owns a store, it is something that takes a lot of time because each item is individually pressed. That's a huge disadvantage. Con number five, you do have to use sublimation more frequently than not because your printer can get clogged. So those print heads can clog up with those specialty inks, and it can start drying up and kind of produce like more of a crusty ink. That sounds so gross. Previously, when I first started with sublimation, I started with the CIS system, the CISS, and that honestly was so traumatic and such a nightmare. If you're in it, just get out. Do those refillable ink cartridges. That is so much easier. Because the CIS system, you actually have to even keep your printer on and print every couple days. Otherwise, you will notice your ink drying up or your paper just coming out blank, which can be difficult if you're busy doing other things. Last but not least, con number six. This is not a huge issue, but any kind of sunlight or UV rays can cause your image to fade, just because of the large amount of heat that's being produced. I wouldn't say it's a huge disadvantage, but just something to be mindful of, especially if you're doing this for the purpose of selling and you always want to have quality and integrity in all the work that you do. That's enough of being a big bummer. For those of you wanting to get started into sublimation, I just feel it's very important to know both the good and the bad and kind of weigh out which one is more beneficial for you. Now, in regard to pros, that will be another video for another time. So turn on that notification bell, be sure to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up if you learned anything, or if you just like me and want to support me. And I will do my pro video in just a couple days. There's a lot more pros than there are cons, so you don't want to miss it. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.